Hello and welcome back to GPA Factory. Now we are going to talk about this practice question. Well, a series of practice questions talking about cost classification. So we have this laundry list of stuff for Aggies Live in a Trash Cans company. Kind of weird that they surprisingly sell upscale clothing. So maybe they're trying to turn their lives around. I'm not sure it's going to work, but Aggies Live in a Trash Can company manufactures and sells upscale clothing. We've got all of these different things, and we have to know, or we have to find, what are the total amount of product costs, period costs, prime costs, and conversion costs. So very quickly, we're just going to say down below here, our product costs. When we say total product costs, that's direct materials, direct labor, manufacturing overhead. Period costs are just SG&A costs, right? Or S&A costs, selling general administrative. Prime costs, very specifically, are direct materials plus direct labor. And then conversion costs are going to be direct labor plus manufacturing overhead. So what that tells us is that for this entire laundry list of items, the tough part is going to be to go through and classify correctly what type of costs each one of them is from this list of direct materials, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, or SG&A. So let's go ahead and just roll through and do that, because then the actual math part is not too bad. And we've already kind of done the hard part there by being able to identify and outline what each one of them refers to. Okay, fabric used in the production of the outfits. The actual fabric, that's going to be pretty much clear as day. Direct materials, not too bad there. Freight in on the fabric used in the clothing. Okay, freight in is direct materials as well. All of that shipping costs that are used or that are spent to get the materials to us. Delivery costs to get the outfits to customers. So to get the outfits to customers, they've already been produced. So it's a little bit tricky, but that's not going to be included as a product cost at all. It's not going to be manufacturing overhead. Delivery costs to get the outfits to customers, those are period costs. Wages paid to factory maintenance. So it's maintenance workers, not the people that are actually putting together the garments. So this is going to be indirect labor. That's going to be manufacturing overhead. Wages for workers in the sales department. Sales, are they involved in actually producing or manufacturing the garments? Manufacturing the clothing? No. So those are going to be period costs. It's really like sales costs, marketing costs, all of that is going to be considered period costs. Depreciation on the factory equipment. Depreciation on specifically factory equipment is going to be a product cost, but it's manufacturing overhead. Versus depreciation on admin offices, that's going to be a period cost. Then we've got wages paid to workers who put the outfits together. If they're the ones that are actually making those, that's going to be direct labor. And then any, like, it might not say this directly in this one, but like any fringe benefits for direct labor would also be included. Now, lubricants for the machinery. Lubricants are going to be like tough to really trace to each individual article of clothing or whatever. So this is just going to be considered manufacturing overhead. Might be like indirect materials. Sales commissions. Sales commissions are always going to be a period cost. They're not involved in actually making the product, just selling it. Then insurance for the factory. Again, classic manufacturing overhead costs. That it is necessary for the factory to operate, but it's not, it's not direct material and it's not direct labor. So the utilities is again going to be a classic manufacturing overhead item. Utilities for the admin offices, though, are period costs. And then salary for the factory supervisor, again, that's going to be more indirect labor, but that is still part of the manufacturing process necessary for actual production of the goods. And then the leather that's used in some of the garments. So we have direct materials on fabric, and here this is going to be, again, direct materials on that leather that's used for some of the clothing items. All right, that was the difficult part. So now we can go through and just start to tally stuff up. So we can just start to add some things up. So for these total amount of product costs, it's direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Let's go ahead and add up all of those things. So all of these are in thousands. So I'm just going to do 32 plus 2 plus 90 plus 25 plus 130 plus 3 plus 14 plus 38 plus 57 plus 35. We get 426,000. All right. Product costs Moving right along, 426,000. Period cost should be a little bit faster. Then really, we probably should have started with these two because then, can layer on what the other one is because those are all included in here, but whatever. It's not going to be too much extra time. We get to now period cost would be the 4, 110, 21, 45, 27. We get 207,000 for period costs. Okay, total amount of prime cost, direct materials, and direct labor. Really only a few items. So 4 items for this one, 32 plus 2 plus 130 plus 35. You get 199. 199. Then a little bit tricky, but you're going to want to realize that direct labor is involved in both prime and conversion costs. So we can't just add up prime and conversion costs to get total product cost because we're double counting direct labor in that scenario. Okay, so here, direct labor and manufacturing overhead. Let's just take it from the top again. 90 plus 25 plus 130 plus 3 plus 14 plus 38. 14 plus 38 plus one last one, 57. Get 357. And that would be, that would be our total conversion cost there. And notice that if we did add up these, then we would just have to subtract off one of the 357 plus 199 equals 556. But again, we've double counted direct labor, so we'd subtract off 130, and then that would be our total product cost, which is what we got up there. So just a little bit of a check there. But yeah, being able to classify, being able to talk through whether stuff is direct materials, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, or period costs, very important early on because our product costs are going to be inventoriable, and those are going to go through our inventory accounts versus period costs are just expensed in the period that they are incurred. So that practice question hopefully clarifies some of that stuff in your brain, but ask questions on the question wall if you have them, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching that GPA Factory video. Hopefully that was extremely helpful. If you found it to be helpful or to kind of clarify some of that content, you can also have access to a free month of membership if you follow this link and use the code YouTube100. Now, with the GPA Factory membership, you'll have access to weekly review sessions that are 1 to 2 hours posted every single week that come with practice questions to help you along with your studies and have video solutions to those. In addition, it'll include an exam review as we get closer to the exam that'll have even more practice questions and video solutions to those given out as well. You also have 24/7 access to our question wall if you get stuck while you're studying, and you get discounts on private tutoring. So if all of that sounds great, again, go to this link and use the code YouTube100 to learn from one of the best to ever teach this course. That's me. So try it out, see if you like it, and yeah, we'll see you around. Thanks.